And good morning. Welcome to Brothers Market at 118 South Main Street in Sigourney. We are ready for the sports section here on Steve Shetler Media. And we've got a big show lined up for you today. Got a bunch of the young ladies from Tri-County that are playing basketball with HLV. They are going to be joining us today. But let's first go to Alan and Bruce hanging out in what is currently being revamped for the new liquor store section of Brothers Market. Alan and Bruce, take it away.
All right, thanks, Steve. Welcome on this first episode of 2024. Got a little white cover here this morning, which was unexpected, but I guess it is January. So I guess we'd start the show off here today. We're just going to talk a little bit here on some happenings from 2023 in the sports world that kind of stood out or just kind of caught everybody's eye or whatnot. I got a few jotted down here if you guys want to chime in, and I'm sure you guys got a few too. So, one I just got a list here, but one of my first ones was obviously the SK football program, making it to the quarterfinals, and Jared Jensen did a great job this year with the schedule they had. I mean, they had a brutal schedule, and it finished out tough. Hats off to them guys.
Well, not only the schedule was brutal, but losing your starting tailback before the season even started, and then going into that first game and losing one of your starting linemen, that's a big ask for a head coach that's contending for district titles and state playoffs, quarterfinals, semifinal stuff. And he did a fantastic job of regrouping that team and getting them back to where they should be and where everybody expected them to be.
Yeah, it was a great job by Coach Jensen and all the players. Yeah, as you guys mentioned, injuries always a part of the game, but boy, SK was hit hard right off the bat, but rebounded nicely and obviously had a nice win. Had several exciting games there early on, especially.
And then, the SK program, kind of just thinking back of what happened through the year here, kind of reminded me of what Iowa went through. With the injury bug, and a lot of people really don't understand that. And to get 10 wins, after losing your starting quarterback, your top two tight ends, the best cornerback in the country probably, and to still eke out 10 wins, it really is pretty good. And that's on the coaching, too. So
it is, and I mean, unless you've actually coached a football game, you don't realize how hard it is to actually win a football game. It doesn't matter who you're playing. I mean, to have everything go right, and they always say football comes down to a game of inches, and they're absolutely correct. I mean, and if you don't believe me, ask the Titans. They lost the Super Bowl by 6 inches. Yeah. So it's to be able for Iowa to finish the season the way they did, regardless of what all the naysayers said, was a pretty big accomplishment.
Yeah, with the Iowa Hawkeyes, it's easy. The low-hanging fruit to pick on is the Brian Ferentz offensive situation or lack of offense, and Deacon Hill being the replacement. But, yeah, 10 wins. You can't complain about that. It'll be interesting though with the portal. I don't know what you guys have been seeing or if you follow inside websites very much as far as the Iowa Hawkeyes go. But there's some rumblings going around that maybe that quarterback from Oregon might be possibly visiting.
He's
visited.
He's gone.
Is he gone?
Yeah.
Tulsa or Tulane? Tulane. He
what?
Agreed to go to Tulane.
He didn't even make the Iowa visit.
Oh, well, scratch that. So, yeah, who knows then? That's where my hopes were that we'd have him coming in, at least for the backup. So.
I think he said, I'm pretty sure McNamara's coming back.
Yeah.
As far as I know,
yeah.
He's coming. I mean, get him and with his tight ends back and find a couple receivers out of that portal, and we could, I think, give our offensive line another year to get experience, get in the weight room. They improved tremendously from last year.
Yeah. And, the loss of Cooper DeJean will be obviously hard to replace. I mean, that guy is a once in a great while.
Just a freak of nature.
type of an athlete. Yeah. And again, if you backtrack and you look back, man, if they get that punt return against Minnesota, you're looking at 11 wins, and who knows how that would have helped them out mentally and in the rankings and all that stuff. So Yeah, but of course, several of those Iowa Hawkeye games could have gone either way. But yeah, the majority of them going the Iowa Hawkeyes way. It will be interesting. Portal, offensive coordinator. We'll see who comes in and takes the job there. And will they make any difference at all? Will Kirk Ferentz saddle them with the same offense that they've had the last 20-some years?
One thing I'd like to go back to SK football. Our junior high had a phenomenal year again. I mean, it just seems like the kids just show up, they play, we get good numbers. Doesn't matter who they put on our schedule. Just a great season overall. The one thing that sticks out to me across the entire board is we swept Pella Christian convincingly, junior high, JV, and high school and varsity.
And I mean, we're starting to build that program too, to where, you know, we're having schools drop us because they don't want to play us no more, and you know, we're playing 3 and 4A schools just to get a schedule in to find teams that'll play and hopefully we can compete with, or they can compete with us. I guess I should say I really do feel good about our program. We've came a long ways, and I mean we're definitely a powerhouse for junior high.
Absolutely,
and
absolutely.
we have great kids.
We've been building that program for quite a few years now, and I think the accolades show that. This year, the high school team, four-time district champs. To be able to do that 4 times in a row, no matter who you play, that's a pretty big accomplishment to be able to four-peat as a district champ in the state of Iowa.
Yeah. And on the SK note, I mean, I wanted to mention too was Jake Moore, you know, making the Shrine Bowl. That's really bigger than I think what he might even think it is, because we have not had very many kids ever play in that, and you know, that's your elite athletes of the state, and you know that. Jake representing SK is pretty proud. I mean, that's just a proud moment, I think.
Well, you look at the kids that do get selected for the Shrine Bowl and that do go there, and you watch year after year after year, a lot of those kids that get inducted to the Hall of Fame have played in the Shrine Bowl. A lot of those kids that go on to scholarships and to be productive in college and football have played in the Shrine Bowl.
And, of course, he was in last week as one of our guests. He's a young man of few words. He's one of those small-town guys that doesn't have a lot to say. But, yeah, best of luck to him at the Shrine Bowl.
The Sigourney girls softball team, you know, making it state, another dominating season. Carly Goodwin's one of the best, you know, pitchers around in the state, and they had a phenomenal year once again.
Yeah, phenomenal year, undefeated in conference champs again. They had 4 girls, I know, that made the Southeast Iowa All-District team, went to state, competed up there, put on a good show. Yeah, it's fun to watch that girls softball team, and with quite a few of their starters back. Carly's back, Josephine Moore's back. Ought to be another good year.
Yeah, without a doubt. Kind of wanted to shout out to my friends up there at Williamsburg. Williamsburg won in their first state title with their program. So I kind of wanted to, that just kind of hit, you know, too, of something neat here in 2023. So
it's nice for what we consider a local team, Southeast Iowa corridor here, that can go win a state title. That's a pretty big accomplishment for them.
It's always fun for us old school South Iowa Cedar League folks to always see those old schools from back in the day, the original conference, doing well right around our area.
Right. And then, I mean, like right now, the Keota boys basketball team's ranked number 1 in the state. You know, hats off to Dan Stout for getting that group ready. And, you know, we kind of knew all year that was going to be a good group coming in. I wasn't really for sure about being ranked number 1, but those kids work hard and they work all season, and they definitely deserve the ranking.
Absolutely. I mean, and you look at their basketball team, and all but one of their starters, the SK football player, the weight room. I know the dedication that those kids show to the basketball court and the weight room. We were over there one day just putting some equipment away or something, and they had a break in between classes, and there was 3 of them in there getting their lifts in just to get their lifts in.
Yeah, and we want to do a little shout out there too to Sawyer Stout. Last night got his 1,000th point, which is quite an accomplishment. So congratulations there, Sawyer.
And I'm definitely privileged here on Steve Shuttler Media to be covering a bunch of those Keota games this year. A 10-game schedule. We're 6 games into it. Got a few games left. Hopefully we'll get the Tuesday night game in at North Mahaska. We'll see what the weather brings us Monday night into Tuesday, but a big game there for Keota at North Mahaska, which we'll have right here on Steve Shuttler Media, and then another game coming up on Friday night. But heck of a boys team. I know the Keota girls, they're hanging in there as well. They got a win last night. So, yeah, it's fun covering the Eagles. And, yeah, Sawyer Stout getting that 1,000th point last night. He struggled a bit from shooting last night, but did finally get that 1,000 point. And I think it was weighing on his mind. He did a post-game interview with us, and yeah, he said it was on his mind, but it finally got that one to drop to get his 1,000th points. So congratulations to Sawyer.
Well, I know. I think his stat line. I mean, I'm not sure exactly how many points he had, but when you can get close to 20 on a bad night,
I know
that's that's pretty impressive. That's tough to beat when your shooter's having a bad night and gets almost 20 points.
And then while staying on Keota basketball here, I want to shout out, he's probably watching too, Bubby McDonald.
Bubby
Nailed another 3 last night.
did.
And he was our athlete of the week there a few weeks ago for KCRG. So
Yeah.
Stout gets him a few more shots up. He'll be leading the state in percentage-wise.
I don't know what Bubby is shooting percentage-wise from three-point range, but man, he's hit at least 4 of them that I've seen. So yeah, he's that's about 3 more than I made in my high school career.
then just another thing in 2023 was Clint Weber turning that Pekin program around down there.
That was
football.
nice. That was good to
You know,
see.
they went from no wins to 1 win to 2 wins to 6-3, made the playoffs. And he's definitely got that turned around down there.
He does, and he gave Lisbon everything they could handle, which Lisbon was a good program in the state last year. We went down and watched them one game, and they were fun to watch. They like to throw the ball around a little bit and run a little bit of the single wing stuff. So it was kind of a good mix, and it was fun to watch.
And last but not least here, Rihanna Utterback, made it to the boys state tournament in 2023 and placed. And what an accomplishment there for her too. She's definitely one of the best girl wrestlers in the state of Iowa. So
yeah, last year our wrestling program top to bottom was good. I know we had Jake Moore made it to state, Reed Molnix, Brady Clark, Rihanna, Jack Clarahan finished 3rd for us last year at state. So yeah, our wrestling program put on a good show last year at state, and it makes you proud to be a Savage.
Yep.
I know also, I was going to jump in here and say that people on Steve Shuttler Media like to take part in polls and voting, so make sure you get your vote in for Rihanna Utterback for they've got the Mr. and Miss Wrestler of the Year at iawrestle.com. So you can go there, scroll down, and place your vote for Rihanna for the Miss Wrestler of the Year.
One of the last thoughts I had is actually made it out to a few baseball games this year. I know Coach Crawford had a rebuilding season after that group of seniors left with Levi and Bo and them, and put on a great show, won the Sickle East, went 13-1 in conference, had a really, really good year in baseball, and they were fun to watch.
Yeah, very good season, and Lee always does a good job with those guys, regardless of what he's got coming for talent. But those kids just seem to buy in and win, and he's always at the top of the conference. And one of these days, I know he's going to get to state. He's came close quite a few times, but it's coming. So
yeah, he's knocking on the door. It's there. It's there.
Yep.
And one last thing before we bring our guests in today is one of my highlights of 2023, at least for the sports section, was bringing in Coach Bob Howard, just retired, longtime SK coach, and Hall of Famer, 3-time state-winning champ coach here in Sigourney, Keota. That was so much fun when we had Coach Howard in late last year, and hopefully we'll bring him in sometime during 2024.
Very good, Steve. That's kind of a wrap on 2023, and we'll get it turn it back to you, and then we'll bring our guest on here.
All right. While we look at this graphic, we'll bring in our guests here for this week. As do want to encourage you, we will be getting back to our Keokuk County Hospital and Clinics Athlete of the Week voting, as a new poll will be going up on Monday, and you can nominate and vote for your area athletes. So you see the list of schools there that are involved. Male and female athletes from all sports are eligible. So winner, of course, we're focusing on basketball, wrestling, bowling. So get your nominations in for our Athlete of the Week. We took this past week off due to a lack of activity, but now things are rocking and rolling again. So Keokuk County Hospital and Clinics Athlete of the Week. Our poll will be going up on Monday. And I know we're featuring one of our just recent area athletes of the week. Let's take it back to Alan and Bruce, guys.
All right, thanks, Steve. Yeah, here we got with us two of the Tri-County girls basketball players, which for you that don't know, they play with HLV. So we've got freshman right beside me, I'm assuming, Emery Hall, and junior Ayla Hall. All right, so thanks for coming in here, girls. I guess my first question to you guys are first time on here. Just tell a little bit about yourself, what other activities you do, or what you're involved in, and go from there.
Alrighty, I'm Ayla. I'm a four-sport athlete. I do volleyball, basketball, track, and softball. I'm also an FFA. I'm the vice president there. I don't know, I don't really do a whole lot of sports outside of school sports, so.
My name is Emery Hall, and I'm also a four-sport athlete. I do volleyball, track, well, I guess three. I do volleyball, track, and basketball. I am not going to be attending softball this year. And I do FFA and, I guess, speech.
Oh, yeah, well, I do speech, too.
Excellent. So what was your girls' thoughts when the season was getting ready to start, and they said, well, we're not going to have a basketball team, and we decided you're going to play with HLV. How'd that come about, and how'd you feel about that?
Well, I was really excited because we didn't have a lot of height. So going over to HLV, I knew they had height, and I just knew they had one girl leaving, and so I knew they would have had a strong starting team. So I was just excited to go over and play.
I was excited to start high school sports because it's my first year of high school, and they all seem very nice, and I was excited to go over there.
So how do you guys get over there?
Well, we leave school at 2:45, so we only miss our WIN class, which is like a what I need, so it's like extra help, but none of us really need it.
Sure.
So then we just drive a Suburban over with the four of us and our coach, Miss Marina.
So how were you guys, were you guys nervous the first day of practice, and how were you accepted by the HLV girls? Because I know how girls can be.
Well, we first went over there for a meeting, and it was a little nerve-wracking. We didn't talk a whole lot. Then the first practice came, and then there wasn't a whole lot of talking. Then the second practice, and it was just like everything was normal, like we were a team that we've known for years.
So it's kind of nice making some new friends from a different school, and I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I've always said about the SK program is, I wouldn't have near the friends I have if we would have never joined in football. And, you guys can kind of say that the same there too. You've got some new friends now, and that's got to be pretty neat. I do have a question, do you guys wear the HLV Warrior stuff at school?
Well, I only have one basketball shirt that I've not worn yet, but we've been told not to wear some Tri-County stuff for practice, but we still do, just as a little.
So what all sports, I'm not positive, do you guys share with HLV?
Right now, just basketball.
Okay.
But oh yeah, we did football too.
Football, okay.
But we're looking at some other sports because we don't have a lot of numbers.
Sure. Let's see.
Alan is stumped.
Well, I've got so many questions that I'm just trying to go down through here.
Well, we
And-
threw him off when there was supposed to be more, and
Yeah.
only two show up, and he's baffled now.
Yeah, go on, Bruce.
So what positions do you play on the team? Are you on varsity, JV?
So I'm point guard for varsity,
Okay.
And I'm point guard for JV.
but she dresses varsity too.
She dresses varsity. Well, good.
All four of
That's
us dress varsity. All four Tri-County girls.
Excellent.
So does your parents at the games wear the red and black, or they just kind of go neutral and.
Well, I don't
I-
really look up in the crowd too much, so
That's
otherwise
good.
it's just like a
That's
That's
why I
good.
want to coach her.
Yes, I do too, because we always get on kids about looking at your parents up there when things aren't going right or whatever. And no, very good. So like, I know with football sharing with HLV and basketball sharing with HLV, how does your homecoming work?
Well, for football, HLV had a homecoming, and we were invited for that. And then we didn't have a football team, so our homecoming is during our basketball season, which is next weekend, right? The 13th is our dance. And HLV's been invited to that, too.
Nice.
So.
Very nice. That's very nice. I know you guys are obviously basketball players, but I don't know if you're Iowa fans or Iowa State fans or
Yeah.
whatever, but we had some girls from EV on here a couple weeks ago, and, we asked them about Caitlin Clark. And, I mean, how do you feel like she's like a role model to you guys? You guys look up to her, or, I mean, obviously for girls sports in general, I mean, Caitlin Clark has turned the world around, so.
Yeah, it's just nice to see someone succeed that much, and it's really cool.
Do you guys ever go up to watch, or?
We have not been to a game, so
Yeah.
we watch her on TV, though, all the time.
And the tickets are a little hard to get a hold of this
Crazy.
year,
Yeah.
You
so.
can even find a ticket.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they sell out
exactly.
really fast.
So how many is on the HLV Tri-County team? How many total girls do you have?
17 or 18.
Okay, so you have a varsity and a JV.
Yeah, we have
So
10.
you guys both dress varsity, right?
Yeah, we have 10 varsity dressing, and then the other 8 are JV.
Okay. Does all 4 of the girls dress varsity?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's cool. So, and then does everybody get in, or are you a starter?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
start. There's like we call a main 7, and those 7 play every game for varsity, and then the other 3, which is her, Sienna, and Nicole Ginsley, they come in sometimes. I think they've been in 3 or 4 games. 4 games.
Okay.
When do you guys play Sigourney?
Friday.
Is it Friday?
Yep, at Sigourney.
At Sigourney. Well, I
Yep.
guess we're going to a basketball game.
So last night I know HLV was to play Tri-County.
Yes.
Did you guys not have a game then?
No, we.
And then it was just
Yeah,
boys.
just the boys. Yeah.
So who did you cheer for? Do you know the
just
Do you know the
kinda-
boys over there very well, or?
Not really.
Yeah.
I just kind of stayed quiet.
Yeah, that's probably good anyway.
Yeah.
So, but that's got to be kind of neat, just playing the school that you're playing
Yeah.
with.
So I know we sat with some of the girls from the basketball team, and we just all kind of stayed quiet, but we talked the entire
Yeah.
game.
No, that's good. I'm glad you guys are all getting along.
Yeah.
Because I know, fortunately, there's some other schools that are shared or whatever that the girls don't always get along. So.
Well, that's kind of always a big thing when you join schools to play a sport together. Usually the kids get along just fine. Sometimes it's the adults that have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Any adults that you've heard talk about this, or any
Not
comments that
really.
you've had? Well, good. And parents are real supportive of it.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Very good. Now, were you 2 youth soccer players?
I don't know.
Because I remember Griffin playing,
Yeah, we
but I
played-
couldn't. I was trying to think if these 2 played or not.
Yeah, we played for, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 years, something like that. I don't know. As many as we could, but
Yeah.
then we eventually stopped for travel softball.
Yeah, I was going to say probably softball kind of
Yep.
interfered and stuff there. So, just in our conference, we kind of talked with the EV girls about this too, with one of them wrestling. Do you guys feel like, I don't know, even just at your school, but in general, do you think wrestling as girls is hurting the sport of basketball, or?
I mean, not really. I mean, last year some people said that Colfax didn't have a team because most of the girls went for basketball, but that's their choice. So I'm not really. If they want to go out for wrestling, then let them go out for wrestling. Yeah.
So that really wasn't the situation at Tri-County
No,
of girls wrestling? And,
We had no girls wrestler. I'm pretty sure no girls wrestlers. We just don't have the numbers.
Okay. Yeah. And I guess I don't know. I guess I kind of look at our conference here of some of the schools. I think it really is hurting, and Colfax is one. And some of the area schools do have a lot of Iowa Valley and North Mahaska's got a lot of wrestlers. So
I know Pekin's got a lot of girl wrestlers too.
yeah. So well, and even we're up to 5 there at Sigourney, and I think only one was a basketball player, but I kind of hope it doesn't hurt the game of girls basketball. So, Steve.
I was going to ask, were you excited to win the Athlete of the Week
Yeah, it was nice to win it. I'm just glad that I had the opportunity to.
And it was kind of a neat story because one of your friends had messaged me. We were already about 24 hours into the weekly poll being out, and a friend of yours messaged and, hey, said nominated you, said she's playing basketball. It's like, okay, well, we can throw her on for this week. And usually, now the story is with the weekly poll is once you get about 12 hours into that poll, you kind of know how things are going to play out as far as who's going to win. But you came in and stormed things.
Kind of
and
cleaned house.
Yeah, you
She
cleaned
did.
house and got a ton of votes. I'm sure you were pretty happy with all of the people supporting you.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that time, Steve, I was looking at, I think there was a wrestler from Oski and a girls basketball player from Pekin that were kind of leading at the time.
Yeah.
And then the next day I looked and Ayla's name was on there. And I was like, holy cow, she's blowing everybody away. So,
That was fun to see.
no. Let's see. You got any other?
So you guys said you both participate in track.
Mm-hmm.
How is it now that, well, you probably don't know because you're a freshman, but now that you have an all-weather track to actually practice on, how fun is that?
It's so much better. It's not gravel, which is nice, or whatever it was, and you don't risk rolling your ankle as easily over rocks.
And you actually got the markings on the track.
Yep.
You can work on your handoffs.
Yep.
Set the hurdles in the right spots.
Yep, it's so much nicer.
You got quite a few girls out for track over there.
No,
No.
enough to make a team though. Which
Again,
is
again,
good enough.
numbers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's got to be nice having that all-weather track over there now, so you guys can, kind of turn that program around and hopefully get it going. I know you guys for basketball, I believe you're 6-3.
Yep.
And I know your 3 losses are, probably to the top teams in the conference. But overall that you've played so far, I mean, like who's been the best team that you feel that you played?
I don't know. That's a tough question. Linville solely, they were a pretty good team. We couldn't really get the ball down the court. They had a good press. They just can make threes all the time. North Mahaska, they're good. I just didn't really notice a whole lot from them. I was nervous that game, but what do you think?
I don't really know. Pay attention to it.
You just play whoever you're playing.
Yeah.
These guys would be good to coach because
would
you know
be
what?
good
They
to
don't worry
coach.
about anything, but let's just play.
Let's just play the game.
Yeah.
Who cares?
No, that's awesome. So your next game's Tuesday against
Belle Plaine.
Belle Plaine, and then
Sigourney on Friday.
Sigourney on Friday. Okay, well, that's kind of all I got here, guys. So we appreciate you guys coming in. Ayla, congratulations on Athlete of the Week. Emery, thanks for coming in, and good luck on your guys' season. And we'll probably see you guys next Friday when you come here, and keep it rolling.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, girls, for coming in.
Thanks.
All right, those are our 2 guests for
Make sure you
today.
drive safe going home.
Yes. And make sure you take that as well. Guys, up next, we're going to take a look at our pick'em standings. You're going to have to wrangle somebody or two to get in here to be some pickers for today.
Neil didn't come, did he?
No, we're not seeing Hot Neil Crott anywhere, but we're looking at the previous standings. The guest pickers were leading last week. Now we'll update into this week. The guest pickers still ahead with 32. Myself, I jump up to second place by myself at 29. We've got Alan at 27, Neil at 26, and Bruce at 26. So, obviously we're all still bunched up there, but the guest pickers at 32 leading the way right now. All right, Alan, what do you think?
I
What are
think
we
our
gonna do
guest
here?
pickers are still in the house. I'd send them away, but I'm going to have Emery and Ayla come back over here.
It's a curtain call.
Now you don't have to know anything about football. You just pick a team, okay? We keep track of us, and then we have a guest picker each week. So you guys are our guest picker, okay?
Who's playing the part of Neil? Anybody?
No, we'll leave Neil out.
Yeah, he can stay down there in the cellar.
All right.
I hope you guys watch a little bit of NFL football.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I don't really.
So our first game, I kind of picked some games that have implications on the playoffs here. So
Oh, boy.
it's the Steelers and the Ravens.
Ravens.
Okay.
Ravens.
Ravens. I don't watch NFL football.
Steelers. What the heck? No,
All right.
actually, no. I take that back. I redact that vote. The Ravens are playing really good.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Ravens too here. Okay, we're going to go the Texans and the Colts.
Texans.
Colts.
Texans.
Yeah, I'm going to go the Texans.
I'll go with the Colts.
All right, the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Bengals, because I watched this girl on TikTok and her boyfriend plays for the Bengals.
You just like Joe Burrow.
Bengals.
Maybe.
All the girls think Joe Burrow's cute.
Bengals, and not because of Joe Burrow.
I said Bengals.
Bengals, okay.
I'll go with Browns.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Browns, too, on that one. I'm not sure. The Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions.
Vikings.
Vikings.
Lions.
Lions.
Lions. The Falcons and the Saints.
Saints.
The Saints.
Even have to ask.
Yeah, Bruce is the Saints.
It's the Saints and the who?
Falcons.
I don't watch enough NFL to know, so Falcons.
I'm going to go the Saints.
Neil Crott did show up. By golly.
Well, we'll get his picks afterwards. The Bears and the Packers.
Bears.
Bears.
Packers.
Duh. Packers.
Are you guys Bears fans?
Maybe.
I could kind of tell there.
Bears.
Oh man, that's a toughie. That's a good game. I'll say the Packers though. The Broncos and the Raiders.
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 Yeah, Broncos are kind of bad. Raiders.
I'm going Broncos.
Just win, baby.
I just need to get a look. The Bills and the Dolphins. This is a really good
Bills.
matchup.
Oh, wait. Dolphins. Sorry.
Bills.
Dolphins.
What happened to the Bills this year? They kind of fell off. I'll go with the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Dolphins too. Okay, then we got the FCS championship is between Montana and South Dakota State.
South Dakota State.
Montana.
Montana.
What's Montana's name?
The
What are
Grizzlies.
The Grizzlies.
The Grizzlies against the what? The Jackrabbits?
Jackrabbits.
In that type of a fight, you have to go with the Grizzlies. So Montana.
I think there's some fighting Jackrabbits, so I'm going with
They
South Dakota State.
Probably have some pretty good kicks.
And then the national championship for Division I, Washington against Michigan.
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 Washington.
I always root for the Big Ten. You got current Big Ten against future Big Ten.
So you still are.
Yeah, I'd like to say Michigan, but I just don't have enough faith. Washington.
I think I'm going to go with Michigan. I hate Michigan, but I think they're playing pretty good ball right now.
I
so
just don't know if they can stop Penix.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy's a freak of nature.
that's all of our picks here, Steve. Girls, thanks for coming back.
Thanks,
And
girls.
Good picks. So.
Hey, good
Thank
picks.
you.
Yeah, very
Neil,
good job.
Neil, did you want to get any screen time? Come on,
Come on, Neil.
say hi to your fellow.
So by the look at Neil's
Fans.
hair, he showered this morning. That's
Yeah,
probably why
well,
he was
I was
late.
taking my time. I
Doing
wanted
your
to look
hair
good for
up.
you guys. and
It takes time to
Smell-
look that good.
You ain't a kidding, buddy.
Well, he came to the grocery store.
So
looking
we'll
for
go
hot moms.
We'll go through the picks here with the Bachelor, Neil Crott.
Why does my name change every week?
Well, it's just it happens.
Well,
It
You have your
happens.
beaver shirt on, so
That's true.
And his taco pants. If you're
And his taco
And my
pants.
taco pants. Can't forget.
I may have told Alan and Bruce before we went on the air about our possible plans for
Oh, yeah?
Valentine's Day.
Yeah?
So
What do you guys think?
I'm in.
I'm in.
Yeah? All right.
I'm
you
signing up.
No. See,
stuff the box.
that's the problem.
If it's a good lunch and supper, I'm signing up.
I'm spending an entire day putting
Wait.
Alan's name in the
Whoa.
box.
I was going to say lunch and dinner? I don't. That's just one meal.
Breakfast
Yes,
next day.
at Casey's. Whoa! Breakfast. All right, that's your coaches show for this Saturday. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Great to be here at Brothers Market.
Breakfast in bed.
Talk about sports.
And Neil's love life.
This just got
That,
interesting.
that could be our new name.
Oh boy.
Sports and Love Life.
Sports and love.
Yeah,
Sports and Love.
I'm going with Michigan.
All right. Let's the Steelers and Ravens.
Steelers.
Texans and Colts.
Colts.
Browns and Bengals.
Browns.
Vikings and Lions.
Oh.
And Bears, oh my.
Oh my. Vikings.
Falcons and Saints,
Saints.
Bears and Packers,
Packers.
Broncos and Raiders,
Raiders.
Bills and
Absolutely.
Dolphins,
This is so fun. Dolphins.
okay, the FCS championship is Montana Grizzlies, South Dakota State Jackrabbits.
Anything that says Jackrabbits,
Yep.
I'm all about them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
heck yeah.
I'm in.
And then Michigan versus Washington in the national championship.
Michigan. I'm
right.
I'm gonna have to go that route. I'm sorry. So I didn't get here early enough, obviously. So what's the standings?
Oh,
You and me are at the bottom.
What?
yeah.
Yeah.
Bruce had a
you-
tough week
I
last
told you
week.
not to pick like I
Guest
picked. It's
pickers
gonna
at the
hurt
top.
you.
It's guest pickers, me, Alan, you, and Bruce are at the bottom with 26. So,
I knew I should have went with Tennessee.
yeah, definitely.
Ugh.
Yeah,
We
that
all
one
should've.
kind of bombed me too. I really had high hopes like all season,
Yeah.
High
and then
hopes.
What were we thinking?
I don't know. Oh well.
All right. Well, guys, who do we have next week, Alan? Do we have anybody lined up quite yet?
Neil
Well,
here at
we're-
8:00.
We're working on the Kyoto boys basketball team.
All right. So tune in. We'll do this again next week right here at Brothers Market in Sigourney. As we always say, download that Brothers Market app, as they've always got specials there to take advantage of. Do your grocery shopping here. Come in and check out the new renovations, as the new liquor store going to be moving over here soon, as it's looking really nice here at Brothers Market. So that'll do it for today. The sports section, as always, presented by Brothers Market here in Sigourney. Alan and Bruce and Neil, thanks for coming in.
Hey,
and
no
we'll See
problem.
you later.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
I thought you were a player.